Some of the biggest looking arms you've ever seen sit above relatively narrow wrists. That's not a contradiction, that's proportion, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. You think your arms look small because of your wrists, but the part you can meaningfully change in size isn't the bony wrist. It's the forearm, and many lifters barely train it directly. Your wrists may barely change, but the forearm above them can change how your whole arm reads. Here's what you think the problem is. Skinny wrists. You've measured them, compared them to some guy's wrists on Reddit, typed, "How to make my wrists bigger?" into Google at 1 a.m. Wrong diagnosis. Your wrist is a complex region made up of bones, joints, tendons, and ligaments. It isn't a muscle belly. Once you're fully grown, its bony width is largely fixed. Training can strengthen the bone and the tissue around it. It won't make the joint grow the way your biceps grow. So if wrist curls haven't made the joint itself thicker, the exercise wasn't the problem. The expectation was. Wrist curls train the wrist flexor muscles of your forearm. They were never going to make the bony joint visibly wider the way a muscle grows. The useful target isn't the wrist, it's the trainable muscle mass above it. Here's what's actually going on. Your forearm isn't one muscle. It's flexor pronator muscles on the palm side, extensor supinator muscles on the back side, and the brachioradialis running along the thumb side toward your elbow. Many of those muscle bellies taper into tendons before crossing the wrist. That taper is normal anatomy. Genetics strongly influences how wide your wrist is and how your muscles are shaped, but the muscle above it is still trainable. The main trainable variable is the forearm, not the bony width of the wrist. A developed forearm doesn't make the wrist itself thicker. It changes the transition from a narrow wrist to a wider forearm. That can make the forearm and the whole arm look more developed. Here's a practical starting protocol built around 4 movement patterns. Hammer curls. Neutral grip, dumbbells at your sides. One effective way to train the brachioradialis, and the other elbow flexors. Begin with 2 sets, 8 to 12 reps. Wrist curls. Yes, wrist curls. These directly train the flexor side of your forearm. Begin with 2 sets, 10 to 15 reps. Those first 2 movements cover elbow flexion and wrist flexion. For more complete forearm development, add direct wrist extension and a support grip movement. Reverse wrist curls. Same setup, palms down. These directly train the wrist extensors on the opposite side, an often overlooked muscle group. Begin with 2 sets, 12 to 20 reps. Farmer's carries, or dead hangs if you don't have heavy dumbbells. These add support grip work and load the finger flexors isometrically. 2 to 3 rounds, 20 to 45 seconds. You don't need to take every set to complete grip failure for this to work. Add a 3rd set to any movement only once your wrists and elbows are recovering well. Choose loads that make the final reps, or final seconds, challenging while your form stays clean, and gradually add reps, load, or time. Start with 2 sessions a week, with at least 48 hours between them. Account for the grip work you're already getting from rows, pull-ups, deadlifts, and curls, and scale the volume down if your wrists or elbows aren't recovering. Quick gut check. How many wrist curls have you done in the last 30 days? Here's the twist. Wrist curls aren't the mistake. Expecting them to grow your wrist bones is. They train one part of your forearm. They always have. What they aren't likely to do is visibly change the bony width of the joint underneath it. Stop chasing a bigger wrist. Start building the muscle above it. So no, your wrist bones probably aren't getting visibly wider from lifting. That part was mostly decided a long time ago. The main trainable variable is the forearm above it. Build it, and the same wrist can stop defining how your whole arm looks. The joint didn't change. The proportion did. Drop taper in the comments if you're starting today, not will start today. Know someone who's been blaming their wrists for 2 years straight? Send them this. Let them find out what the trainable variable was.